All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome back to Raceverse coverage of the Fuel series here. This is Matt Houston, joined by Gary Gotso in the booth. How's it going, Gary?
Good to be here, and I hope everyone's ready for not a big field, but a spirited field of drivers that are going to take on one of the biggest tracks we've been on so far this year.
Yeah, we're at VIR, Virginia International Raceway. We were just talking about it. It's kind of one of my favorite tracks in iRacing. So I was an early member on iRacing. It was kind of one of the, because iRacing headquarters is over in Boston. So, they were scanning road courses nearby. So they've got some tracks that I'd kind of never heard about at the time. Summit Point is in West Virginia, I believe, and this track over in Virginia. So I kind of started, fell in love with both of those tracks because of them being in iRacing. And back in those days, there weren't that many tracks, so you kind of raced these tracks a lot. So yeah, we've got the Toyota GR86 here. It's a long lap. We're looking at like 2 minutes 12 seconds, I believe, is what the fastest practice times were. We're in qualifying right now. They've got 2 or 3 laps to do set a time, and we've got, I think it's 6.5 minutes left.
And hopefully, with the way that these cars draft well and stay in packs, we got 3 pretty long straightaways here. The main straight from turn 17 to turn 1. It's got a little bit of a dog leg in the middle. It's not a abrupt one, so you can pretty much all stay in line there. That's a pretty long straight. From 6A to 7, there's a little bit of a straightaway there. And in fact, a lot of those corners that are in through 5A through 9 really aren't that extreme that these guys might be able to float through there and cut the corners a little bit through the rumble strips and try to straighten that portion out to be a straight there. And of course, where the oak tree is from turn 12 down to 14 is a really long straight. So there's 3 opportunities per lap for these guys to get into a good draft, and then and typically empty into pretty good braking zones. Of course, 1 is a good braking zone and a passing zone going into not 10, but really setting yourself up through 10 to get to 11 at the Oak Tree Bend there. That's a good passing and braking zone. And then really just kind of setting up at the end of the longest straight from 12 to 14. There's a little bit of a zone there possibly to work your way into. If not, just get yourself closers that set up for turn 1 once you make it past the start-finish line. So we might see some more opportunities for passing here, just due to, and actually, I take that back, more opportunities for the pack to stay all packed together, and more passing opportunities with everyone so close together.
Yeah, I think what you might see is there's a lot of opportunities to kind of make mistakes here. I'm thinking, I mean, literally almost kind of all the corners, the big ones. You've got turn 1 in Horseshoe, and then we've got the NASCAR Bend corner. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But you're kind of a lot of speed into that corner, and you can overshoot and go into the grass. That corner, the exit of the corner is a little bit easier. We've got a new scan here in iRacing that adds a little bit of runoff on that corner and adds like an early rumble strip. We've got that in a couple different corners out here. Through that snake corner, snake, which is like 6 all the way to about 10. It's fast, but making anything happen there is difficult because it really narrows up when you're kind of slaloming through those corners. But that's where you can add some pressure to people as you head up to Oak Tree, and that's where you can again force a mistake. The exit of Oak Tree is going to be where that mistake might happen. Of course, there's not an Oak Tree there anymore. Leaf, what's the story on that one? It got struck by lightning, I believe. Is that?
Yeah.
So
you would figure. I think we were talking about this last week off air. You figured to have a better opportunity getting hit by a car than by lightning there, but no, lightning takes the win for the oak tree destruction there. Not a car, and so it is no longer there. But it was a If you, it's in the old scan, I think.
It is.
I don't know if that's if you could still use that configuration,
That's a good question.
if you go back and watch the FIS race in our archives when we had a VIR, it is there. So you can go back and enjoy the oak tree there at one of our older recordings, if you so wish.
Yeah, I mean that. Okay, so we ran it 2 times in FIS. First time Gavin picked it, Gavin Sanders, one of our teammates in the team race first. But second time was me picking it because I enjoyed it so much. Just going back to that oak tree corner though, and setting up for the passing opportunity into turn 14, it is that entry into that corner is I'm talking about 14 here. It is also still not the easiest place to make a pass though, and you have to have, it's almost like an IndyCar pass, Gary, like into turn 1, turn 3. It's like there's a lot of cooperation required where if the guy on the outside decides he doesn't want to give that to you, then you might be coming together in that corner. So
a question I ask, because this is not a road course I run very often. I would assume when you were approaching turns 11 and 12, that whole complex through there, that you would see the tree coming up and have a mental picture in your head of and just it's all part of the picture and the automation that your body takes over when you get to your brake zone and everything. With the tree gone, does that change the way that corner looks to you?
I think it does slightly. You pick some different. There's some different things on the horizon that you just kind of spot, and in these cars, you're like judging where it is on the window compared to wherever your braking zones are. But yeah, it's a little bit. It can be difficult where you're just kind of hitting those brakes and praying, and that's why you see a lot of people make mistakes there.
Well, someone is not making a lot of mistakes right now is Matthew Escajeda. He is our provisional pole sitter at a 209.2. And Will's getting ready to complete another lap here, see if he can better that. Will's behind him by just a 1/10 and a half. And see if he does bump that up any. Don't think he does.
He's on the... Right now I've got him on the back straight. Well, heading towards 14, I believe. So, yeah.
And then row 2 is the Alfred row. It's the row of butlers. If you're into Batman, both Butler and Butler are currently back on provisionally on P2 with about 7 seconds left to play. Thompson, Leo, Carroll, Sauter, Kaiser, and Cosgrove round out the 10-car field. And I think we're done.
Yeah, that will be setting up. So I think that's Matt Escajeda's first pole here.
That is his first pole. He lined up on the pole last week, I think, because of the way that Will decided that he wanted to do the fall back to the back, but he did not win the pole. Today he actually wins the pole, and we'll get our starting grid here just momentarily. But it's Escajeda on the pole with a 209.2, Salisbury P2 with a 209.4. As mentioned, the Butlers, Max 209.737, and Joseph Butler 209.793, just separated by a couple hundredths there. Those guys are third and fourth. TJ Thompson fifth, Nick Leo sixth, and I believe Nick is in the new paint job this week with his new team. Drew Carroll P7, Andrew Sauter P8, Kyle Kaiser P9, and Adam Cosgrove, P10. We've heard that a lot of the guys are still traveling this week, so a little bit smaller field. Hopefully we'll see a bigger field for the final finale next week at Sebring. But only 10 cars are going to take the green here, and, with only 10 cars, maybe we see someone back in 6th and 7th on that long road down to turn 1 decide they want to take a dive and do a full send on the field here.
That is, I've seen that happen here in some official races.
To no one's surprise.
Yep. And I mentioned it before, but there is I don't know how it's going to feel in these cars. It's probably pretty soft, but there is a good-sized bump at kind of that first corner is a bit of a late apex corner. And there is a pretty good sized bump there. I don't think it's enough to upset these cars, but if you get another car with a much stiffer suspension, that can really upset the car. As we pull away for a long pace lap here.
And that gives us plenty of time to mention our sponsors. And of course, if you hit any bumps with your car, you want to make sure that you have ultimate rim protection with a Prio rim. They protect your rims against curb rash, pothole damage, and imperfections. The winner of the 2023 Fuel Series will get a chance to enjoy a free set of the Prio rim technology to put on their personal vehicle. To learn more about Prio rim and what they have to offer, including their 9 different colors to choose from, go to PrioRimUSA.com. Also sponsoring us today for the rest of the season has been 40 Racewear. Good friend of ours, good partner of ours as well. You want to check out their check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. If you need to protect your hands and feet, and I actually have some pretty cool racing shirts and everything, check them out. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. Also, I'd like to thank good folks at PitFit. If you're looking for your edge in motorsports, look no further than PitFit. PitFit has established themselves as a pioneer in the human performance side of the motorsports industry, supporting some of the most well-known drivers and teams worldwide. PitFit is proud to develop the most well-prepared teams in motorsports, ensuring that psychological cognitive stressors, it's good, you got to use your brain, never became a limitation of maximizing your performance. Join winners like Scott Dixon, Alexander Rossi, Colton Herta, Dario Franchitti, Will Power, Casey Kane, Sam Hornish Jr., and William Byron, who trusted PitFit as their human performance partner. Check out pitfit.com or a link in the description.
Always thanking those sponsors. On to the back straightaway we go, and we're about to set up here. So I guess I was asking Will before the start of the session whether he was going to take that EOL, and it looks like he's not, because he did not grab the pole. So, right there, but didn't quite get it. Doesn't appear that anybody's going to be taking that. It's just kind of a bonus point thing to drop to the back, take that EOL, and get some bonus points.
Now, Escajeda right now currently is third in the point standings, only 20 behind McGinnis, who is not with us again this week. So that bonus point for the pole and a good starting position is going to make up for a very interesting final week here in the Fuel Series, with the top 3 going to be all tight, very tight points-wise going into Sebring.
Yes, so we've got, what do we got? We got the Virtual Carbon team, we've got Fuel team, and then we've got a row of meatballs in row 2 as we come down for our green flag.
And we're going to see how they are going to make this long run down the 1. Already have some jockeying. Green flag in.
In fact, that's 3 meatballs there, I believe. Yep, there's 3 of them.
Green flag in the air as we have started our 40-minute timer. Everyone getting in there very nicely. Escajeda did himself a good favor by breaking out in front. Butler and Salisbury still fighting there for that P2 position. Salisbury's got the position on the inside. He's going to pull out that pass.
Yeah, he was under pressure by a lot of meatballs, but he holds on. Just to note for us, currently our estimation is 19 laps, but with the caution, it's going to go down to about 17, I would assume.
I remember they still, what we've seen very early on in the last couple of races has been the dive to pit road immediately after lap 1. We'll see how many are going to do that. Typically, the Thompson team there, the team of Thompson and Carroll, I believe, are the ones that try to stay out the longest.
As we head up to Oak Tree for the first time.
Everyone through there nice.
Side by side.
Organized, yeah.
Oh, a little bit of contact between, I believe that was Carroll and Leo back there. But everybody made it through. So, 17 times, or 16 or 17 more times to go through there.
Yeah.
Kyle Kaiser making a move for position. Not sure what you can call inside or outside into this next corner sequence, though. Side by side they go through there, though. Maybe a little bit of door banging, but mostly clean between Kaiser and Carroll. Ooh, now, okay, there is contact there.
Kaiser off.
And Kaiser off. We had that right
in, turn 16, 17 area. I think 87, Drew Carroll also involved.
Yeah, Cosgrove had a checkup as well, so we'll get another look at this little slow-mo here.
And Kaiser goes right to the pits, which might be a good thing for him. Just go ahead and get that pit stop out of the way.
Yeah, he's going to be...
have an empty... I don't know how much trouble, damage he has, but then pretty much have a clean racetrack to yourself here.
All right, well, back up to the front. Yeah, so Kaiser's going to take that pit, take his fast repair, I would assume, and get back out there, and he's going to have to kind of coast around a little bit, but really long lap here. He's not going to go a lap down, and he'll be back right on it after the competition caution. Spirited battle here. Everybody's staying close, kind of how you said, Gary, where in the pre-race,
yeah,
we had opportunities, yeah, kind of to keep really close together through here. First through fifth, really close. TJ Thompson back this week after missing last week. He was not happy to miss the oval round. Yeah, but his teammate won, so...
His teammates were happy they made that oval race. They pretty much dominated that race.
Yeah, they did.
69 of those 80 laps. So, yeah.
Really tight between, first to fifth here. I was... keeping an eye on whether somebody was going to maybe miss a braking point and, bumper to bumper action there, but everybody's cleanly through.
Well, the meatball squad is all together there, and I would imagine that they are, and here's the pass for the lead. At least he's taking a look for the lead.
Yeah, on the outside, crossing start finish.
And that gives
Butler thinking about...
Oh, three wide going into the corner in the middle.
And that's going to be Will.
Will's going to be on the outside, and it's probably going to be the big loser of that one.
Yeah. These meatballs are ganging up on him. As there's a little bit of contact between the meatballs there. But
I was just getting ready to say that they are all in a position where they can work together, probably already are. And when you get all your teammates together, we've talked about this before on a number of broadcasts and talking about leagues that didn't really have teams, but still teams participated. You're still working with your teammate as much as the rules say there are no teams. And when you get all three together, rule 1 of racing your teammate is not to wreck your teammate, and rule 2 of racing with your teammate is always refer back to rule 1. So when you get three of you guys together, you also always want to start talking, making sure everyone knows where everyone's going there. And those three guys... we're in a position to do that.
Yeah, so officially, though, that last lap was led by Salisbury, is what my data is showing.
Yeah, my data shows that, too. So he got his nose out there just enough, but the Butler came shooting right up the middle.
Yeah, that was a heck of a move by Butler there. Now he is putting
Max
some pressure.
Butler. Yeah, Max Butler right up the shooting the... And then Nick Leo, newest member of the Meatball Squad, he was in the pink car last week and now is in the right livery this week. Had to get a new wrap.
Here's where I wonder if Salisbury maybe just takes a dive for that. He had a mistake too.
Max Butler out wide, Nick Leo on the inside through that 14A and 15 complex.
Salisbury's back to 7th now, so I think he had another mistake. I'm assuming, he's going to dive for the pits.
One of the meatball cars looks like Max is going to go ahead and maybe he was setting up to allow his teammate to pass so he could make that jump down pit road, but he is going to be on a slightly different pit strategy than the remainder of his team.
I've noticed that Salisbury had a very wide entry into the pits. I hope he did not take a penalty for like an unsafe pit entry on that one, so we'll keep an eye on that. Even if he does, though, he'll get that lap back, or get that... he won't even go down a lap because we've got a really long lap, so...
No, a 40-second hold here is only just over a quarter of a lap.
It's a lot, but with that competition caution, it's not going to be a big deal.
So 32:40 left to play. Still projected about 19 laps until we get to the competition caution, which should be coming up here in the next 12 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm seeing... What is that? I think it's at 15 minutes into the session, so... for me, what it's showing to me, we're like halfway to that, so... Anyway, we are spread out because we had all that action. We spread out just a little bit. Closest battle on the track is between a couple meatballs and then back to Sauter going off track there. Let's go on board with him. See what he's doing here. Right behind TJ Thompson. So Nick Leo currently with the fastest lap. You might have mentioned that already.
Yeah, Nick Leo with the purple lap, 2:09.4. And he's putting some more space between himself and his teammate there in second and third, excuse me. Leo P2, Escajeda still the leader.
Yeah, Escajeda's just got to be smiling right now. He wishes this was after the competition caution, though. Got a solid lead there.
There are the other two meatballs hitting pit road, so slightly different pit strategy for the other half to two-thirds of the team.
Andrew Sauter also hitting the pits, so Escajeda is going to stay out. TJ Thompson going to stay out. Thompson through the season has been one of the last cars to pit usually.
Yeah, everybody on that team have been go as long as possible. And it works out to be not a bad strategy because we've talked about that these, unlike last week where tire wear was a difference on an oval, these tires on the road course, they're like hockey pucks. And the longer you go and the lighter your car gets, the faster you go. So he's looking to get the overcut on a lot of people by going as long as possible.
There's also the, if Escajeda can pit, there's a bonus point for leading a lap for Thompson in this.
And he's picked up on that a couple times too.
He has through the season, so, yes. So we'll keep an eye on what Escajeda does. Getting that TV time, being in the lead. Hopefully his family's watching. Have to keep an eye on who we should interview. If Adam Cosgrove had pit, we'd definitely be interviewing him because he's up 7 positions, but I think he'll cycle back a few, although maybe not entirely. Okay, and I do see Will Salisbury, by the way, did take... He had a really long in the box, so I think that was an unsafe pit entry. Maybe we'll have to bring him up here then to kind of ask him what happened there.
1:15, minute 15 on pit road, 52.5 in the box. So that pretty much says there was a 40-second hold there somewhere.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty clear. There was a hold, and we had it completely on the camera.
And here's our leader hitting pit road, so get the speed down. I think he's down there in time. And here comes TJ Thompson. He's going to get that credit for that lap right here. And hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This team's sticking to the strategy.
Cosgrove also going to pit this lap, so only car not to pit will be TJ Thompson.
This is the Brawl Chassis Works team.
We might actually have... Okay, wait, Drew Carroll, sorry. He has not pit either. I was going to say...
Yeah, and that's another member of this team as well.
Yep. He got shuffled back a little bit with some... Yeah, he was the car that had contact with Kaiser, so... Yeah, so he was cycled back just a little bit, and that is why he is about 18 seconds back from his teammate, and that's a lot of ground. That's because he had it off track. Looks like Escajeda gonna take over the lead after this round of, or after the competition caution, and Thompson and Carroll pit. A pretty good sized gap back to Butler, but then Leo and Sauter. And okay, Butler, Leo, Sauter, and Butler. Pretty good battle there brewing. As they head up towards the oak tree. Oak tree that is an oak tree.
Right.
By the way, looking at track maps, they have like a chicane on this back straightaway, but
That's not used yet.
yeah, it's not used here, but they still count that like that would be turn 13.
I think, yeah.
It would be turn 13, but on the track map here, it just goes from 12 to 14 without that chicane. So interesting numbering system there.
Here is Thompson hitting pit road. I imagine teammate Carroll will probably hit pit road right with him.
Leo gonna take over. Oh, a little bit of contact. He overshot it just a little bit. Sorry, Butler and Sauter battling for position there. I was mistaken on the cars. Those meatballs get confusing.
Here comes Escajeda. He is going to possibly pick up the lead here. Yeah, he beats out both Thompson and Carroll, and he's going to have himself a big lead going into the competition caution.
Yeah, because that... Okay, actually, Thompson comes out in P2, so heck of a move there.
Butler and Leo fighting side by side.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who's the fastest of us, and whoever's that is should probably be the leader of this group here.
So yeah, TJ with the big overcut.
Yeah, he did.
Nice job. As you see that they're going through the snake. Snake's not very
a little bit wide there
curvy.
by...
Yeah. Well, they can cut the corners through the rumble strip area. You see them there. Andrew Sauter flashing his lights at Joseph Butler.
That's just a strategy to try to confuse the car that you're battling with.
Leo trying to take a dive. Sauter off track. There. And competition caution.
There we go. So who are we going to interview here? I think let's get somebody in here that we haven't talked to. Maybe Cosgrove? I think I'll bring up Cosgrove. Does that sound good? Or
go right ahead. He's up 3 spots, so he's worked his way up into a bonus paid position here so far.
Yeah, I mean, the other one would have been TJ, but we've talked to TJ before, so we'll bring up Adam here. Hey, Adam, this is Matt and Gary in the booth. Got a copy?
Copy.
Well, we saw you've gained 3 positions. I know there was some battling there with, I think it was Drew Carroll and Kyle Kaiser there that happened in front of you. But tell us about your race so far.
You know, that happened in front of me, and I was like, okay, there are 2 more spots. But then, been making some easy mistakes. But we're gonna tighten that up in the second half of the race once we have a chance to go forward.
Yeah, good race so far. You made that pit stop and you made it work. Now this competition caution. So you think you can get back on the podium or anything like that here?
Yeah, we'll see. That's a bit ambitious, but especially with Will and Kyle and Drew behind me. But I think there's definitely going to be something that happens in the second half of the race. So I'm excited to see what we can get for the Feline Speed Syndicate.
Yes, excited to not be part of that, hopefully, is what I would assume. And yeah, I would say it's going to be a little nervous. Don't be too nervous with, a former IndyCar, possibly in the future again, maybe one day. Kyle Kaiser behind you, and multi-time winner here, Will Salisbury behind you. So don't be too nervous, and good luck heading into the next, what do we got? Like
the second half of the race,
minutes?
yeah.
Second half of the race. So yeah, good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
You got it.
All right, I put him back in the right place. That's always one of the difficult parts of being the guy that has to move people around in the broadcast booth. Is like, okay, wait a minute, what channel was he in on the Discord? And I have to put him back in the right place. So, yeah, good talking to him. Gonna have a long pace lap here, or a caution lap. You want to do a read?
Yeah, Will actually is he's the last car to catch up here. So
yep.
We're gonna go one more actually, and that's gonna start impacting the number of laps here.
Yeah, my thing that we've got here never actually updates after these, but I have to imagine. So at mine, my readout's still saying like 19 laps, but it's got to be like 16 or 17 because this is long. But do you want to do another read through of the our great sponsors here in the series?
Yeah. Let's talk about protecting your rims with 9 different colors. You can always go to Prio Rim and check out the Prio Rim technology of complete rim protection from curb rash, pothole damage, and imperfections. And the winner, which will be next week, we will get a champion, the driver's champion of the 2023 Fuel Series. Will pick up a free set of Prio Rim technology to enjoy on their home vehicle. 4D Racewear, one of our good friends. Check out their made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. And then looking for the edge in motorsports, well, that's where you need to check out PitFit. PitFit has established themselves as a pioneer in the human performance side of the motorsports industry, supporting some of the most well-known drivers and teams worldwide. Join winners like Scott Dixon, Alexander Rossi, Colton Herta, Dario Franchitti, Will Power, Casey Kane, Sam Hornish Jr., and William Byron, who have trusted PitFit as their human performance partner. Check out pitfit.com or click on their link. All the links, hopefully, are in the description. But a lot of Indy 500 winners there. Scott Dixon won. Alexander Rossi, there's 2. Dario Franchitti, there's 6. Will Power, there's 7. Sam Hornish, 8. So 8 of those drivers, 8, or between all those drivers that we mentioned there, 8 Indy 500 wins there.
Yeah, it's PitFit. I mean, we're in Indianapolis, Gary, so we kind of knew it well when they came on board here.
Oh, yeah.
We always see. I mean, I remember like a decade ago, when I first started following anybody on Twitter. And you constantly see IndyCar drivers saying like, "Hey, I'm working out at FitPit," and shouting out FitPit. PitFit. I mixed that up, but just about every week you'd see something like that. But we're gonna go green at the end of this lap, but we got a lot of laps left. So
to go, yeah.
Let me go ahead and show our driver's points. Will Salisbury, quite a bit in the lead over Robin McGinnis. That might be insurmountable for that. I do believe there is a drop week, but that might be insurmountable. We'll have to see where that is. I mean, Will's got 4 poles, 2 wins here. The better battle might be our team points, and let me bring that up on the screen at the moment.
Yeah, Feline Syndicate there, which is currently first in points, 344 points, and I believe their lead car today might, nope, it's not Adam, but Adam is part of the squad there. They do have 2 cars up there, so that's going to help.
It's
and also,
and
only 10
Cosgrove,
cars,
right?
Yeah, it's only 10 cars in the field. You know, they're going to get 2 cars. They're going to finish in the top 10, so that's going to help. And Brawl Chassis Works, who is also the second team there in that battle, 302 points. Going to be no wins there for Brawl, but very consistent finishes for Brawl.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to see heading on to our final race at Sebring coming next week for the Christmas holidays. So we're on this long back straightaway, but heading to.
Actually, Brawl should have got a win last week. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
wins for them. They should have got a win last week.
Yeah, I think that's just not updated correctly on the spreadsheet that I've got, but they certainly had a win. So, well, we can thank the organizers here for giving us another double file restart here.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of it in IndyCar when they did double file restarts, but for the entertainment purposes here tonight, Toyota GR86.
When IndyCar did it for real, it was a novelty, but it will. If there's a league out there and I get into a race and they have double file restarts for IndyCar, that is normally my sign to quit the league.
That and how many fast repairs it has.
That and the number of fast repairs.
Yeah.
And green, white checker finishes going green here with 17 minutes and 16 seconds left to play.
Yeah, here Max Butler. These meatballs, they know how to do these restarts, and they ganging up on TJ Thompson there as they head into turn one. Escajeda's just gonna.
That's gonna allow Escajeda. That's gonna give him a big break.
Yeah, he's just gonna drive away just like he did the last time we had these here. Meanwhile, probably.
Now let's see how. Let's keep an eye on P9 there, Will Salisbury, and see when the strategy goes from finesse to brute force.
Yeah, exactly. I did see that Cosgrove did lose the position to Kaiser. Kaiser looking to be on the move here as well as Salisbury.
And he's setting up Butler, Joseph Butler here. Butler making his car very wide.
Go on board with Kyle Kaiser there. Just a light tap of the brakes there. Sorry.
Butler was setting his car up middle of the racetrack for entry into some of those turns, and was not really giving Kyle any room to kind of sneak his way in there, kind of a Verstappen full send, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. On board with Kyle Kaiser, or actually Joe Butler, sorry. He got cycled back.
He's going to take a look to the inside of it. Whoa. He was thinking about it on solder. Stayed out of it.
Kind of an interesting breaking point back there at turn 14 where you're kind of downhill a little bit. There's quite a bit of elevation change here where the car gets really light and you can kind of sense that rear end wanting to come around in that corner.
And again, we're kind of speaking from IndyCar experience.
Yeah.
IndyCar cars do not like to bend.
Yeah.
IndyCar chassis does not like to flex. These guys will flex a whole lot here, and now I'm watching a battle.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there.
And that is, Andrew Sauter.
Yeah, we're going to need a replay of that.
Joe Butler is taking blame on that one. Now Joe Butler is getting teamed up on by Kyle Kaiser and Will Salisbury.
Yeah, let's get a look back at this one here.
Just kind of regain your composure and trying to finish off the next 9 laps. It's projected about 9 laps to go.
Yeah, tough break. Butler.
I think it's going to be a lot less than that, though. I think it's going to be more around the lines of 5 or 6. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, tough break there for Cosgrove. Lucky to get his teammate through there, though, on the re-entry to the track. Heading back up to the front of the field. Escajeda under pressure from brother Butler, Max Butler. Nick Leo in third, still fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, driven a great race. for his new
Currently
team.
tied for biggest mover with up 3 spots.
Up 3, Sauter up 3.
Looking back, Salisbury thinking about making a move on Kaiser, but thinks better of it. Yeah, this is a tough place.
Getting down to about 13 minutes left to play here. Sorry about that.
Yep.
And Kaiser and Salisbury, there's that battle
a little bit off.
Kaiser goes wide on the pit straight, letting Salisbury on by. And now that gives Salisbury quite a bit of clean track in front of him to kind of run down Joseph Butler. I'm not sure, unless people have some mistakes in front of him, I'm not sure if he has time to get up there. We'll see.
Looking back side by side, Kaiser
Right
and
behind
Carroll,
them, Kaiser
they had
and Carroll,
contact earlier in the race, so this is part 2.
Well, Salisbury already up to the bumper of Butler.
Yeah, I saw, so on that corner at turn 17 where Kaiser went off, as I see Salisbury's windshield wipers go on. I think that's just automatic in iRacing, currently anyway, until rain is coming, apparently. But that corner, turn 17, is sort of like, this right-hander. It's pretty fast, but it's also like downhill a little bit. The track is dropping away and really easy to go off in that corner.
Max Butler to the lead.
Wow.
Something happened with Escajeda, and Butler now has the lead there.
See if I can do a little rewind there, because we did not catch that on the broadcast. Got a meatball in the lead.
Now
we can't miss that.
Salisbury and Butler side by side down the main straight, going down the 1 here.
Where did this happen? I'm rewinding a lot, and it hasn't happened yet. So let me go back. Here we go. Something happens here. Okay. It was literally just on the front straightaway. I wonder if Escajeda has not enough fuel to make it to the end. So back to...
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
He is just kind of sticking right with him, not really pushing the deal here. Yeah, he's going to take a look on the outside now. We're on the pit straight, got on the outside going in the 1.
Unless, maybe he had a slowdown or something like that. But he did have the short, him and TJ Thompson, I'm talking about Escajeda and TJ Thompson, had slower pit stop, or faster pit stops, so I wondered if they didn't have enough fuel or something like that. As TJ Thompson trying to go, in contact with Nick Leo there.
Nick Leo, and we just gave him the jinx there.
Yes.
And guess what now? Will Salisbury up to 3rd, and I said it's not going to happen unless some stuff in front of him happens, and that's what happens when 2 or 3 cars get in a little bit of a tussle. And so far, Finesse is winning out over his brute force.
A little bit of
really
tap.
pushed the issue.
TJ Thompson, a little bit of a tap on, I think it was Joe Butler.
But I was kind of thinking the same thing with Escajeda, possibly short on fuel. Try to get a little bit of mileage behind Max Butler. We'll see.
So there's a lot of time left. 9.5 minutes for Salisbury here to make something happen. You know what I also wonder now is who took tires? This is we're gonna have to answer.
Who took tires? Yeah, I can answer that. Everyone took tires with the exception of Kyle Kaiser.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That answers that question. I was gonna say I was wondering if maybe Salisbury did because he had that penalty for unsafe pit entry, but. Yeah,
now Max Butler on his set of tires, and that puts Escajeda back in the lead. Escajeda 8 laps on this set of tires. Max Butler 10. The better set of tires among the group of leaders is TJ Thompson. He only has 7.
Okay.
I think Kyle Kaiser actually pitted. He actually has changed, but he's on 12 lap old tires. So he went ahead and pitted right after he had that little off. And now we're starting to get a bit of the weave down the main straight in the 1 as they're trying to hold off Will. Escajeda back in the lead. Butler P2.
Escajeda was a little bit wide.
Salisbury with the faster lap by a significant margin.
I'm still showing Nick Leo as the current fastest lap, but
well,
you're talking about
lap, but he had that time that lap by.
Yes,
was faster. The 2 leaders were 2:11.1 and a 2:11.4. Salisbury was a 2:09.9.
I think I'm getting a little bit of a blink from.
I'm getting it too. Yeah.
So hopefully there won't be contact there between cars.
And you remember what happened last time when we had a car blinked, and that was Will Salisbury. I believe that was Phillip Island, and that was his worst race of the year.
Yeah.
I think he had to fall to the back. So I'd hate to see someone like Max, who's worked so hard today to maintain a top 3 spot pretty much all day.
Yeah, and he went blinking again, I saw.
And Will is talking to him on the radio about blinking.
Gotta tell your partner, your friend, or whatever it is, yell at it, say, quit streaming
Will,
Netflix.
His reply to Will is, you better stay away from me then.
Gotta turn off that download. Whole line of cars behind this battle there for...
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Escajeda is just gonna kind of drive away at the moment from this. Another blink
and I think Max is starting to let folks cycle through him. That's going to allow Nick Leo to get the. He might do is let his teammate on by and then drag the brake on Kyle Kaiser. Who knows? We'll see.
We're gonna have be curious to see. Okay, so that lap, because Salisbury is battling, was not faster. He's gone down about 1.5 seconds from Escajeda.
Yeah.
So, but we've seen that Salisbury can definitely overcome that kind of gap.
Yeah.
But we're going to see what Escajeda can do to respond to that.
So the word of his demise has been greatly exaggerated by me. He's worked his way back up to P2. We're about 5 minutes or so left to play, give or take. Another lap or 2. That's what it comes down to. I mean, we're 2 minute laps here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that flag stand. I think we've got 2 more laps, is my guess. 2, if not 3, but I'm thinking 2. Definitely more than 1. But yeah, we're really tightly packed here, though, from about as meatballs battling each other into the oak tree. Oh,
Butler around.
That was TJ Thompson, I think, getting into Butler. We're gonna get a replay of that one. Actually, was that was not TJ Thompson. That was Drew Carroll. It was Drew Carroll, yep. So, Max Butler, who was the blinker earlier, currently the highest running of the meatballs, as heading back up to the lead. That has been brought down to about 0.5 seconds between Escajeda and Salisbury.
Yep, and we are on the start-finish straight. Gonna get a white flag here, no.
Yeah, I couldn't see where it was at. I wasn't sure where the flag stand is there. It might. Oh, okay. We've got defending there from Escajeda, making an early apex on that. Under pressure from Salisbury. Go on board with Salisbury here. I'm definitely not seeing a white flag, so it
Yeah,
might be
I'm
this
thinking
lap.
that we still have at least one more lap to go.
Will did a 2:08.604. That's fastest lap.
That
of the
was
race
the
by
purple
a
lap.
lot.
So closers be closing.
And he could probably try to like make a pass here, but you'd really have to force it through here, and I don't think Will's going to want to do that.
Well, he's still got some time. Remember, we're still a 3-mile track here, and we got at least one more lap, and he is faster by a significant margin. Escajeda did a 2:09.9. Excuse me, that's his fastest lap. I had my fast laps were just reset on themselves. So Escajeda did a 2:10 flat.
Almost 1.4 seconds faster is Salisbury over Escajeda here, so almost like it's a matter of time. It's time to make that car really wide.
Making the car wide coming into this last set of corners.
Yeah, so he chose
The
his
outside.
preferred line there.
Oh, he's going to keep it there. Yep, and he'll keep it again going through 14, 15, and 16. And now I think we're looking at a white flag.
As Salisbury looks to the outside.
White flag in the air, white flag in the air.
All right.
Side by side, down the start straight into the braking zone for one, still side by side.
My what I've got doesn't show white flag, but I'll keep an eye on that.
I saw a white flag from the flag stand, so
okay.
we'll
well,
see.
If you saw it as Salisbury takes the lead in through. We'll double check our naming on that particular corner, but I think it was through.
That through NASCAR?
It might have been.
Or
Yeah, I do believe it was NASCAR.
5A coming into 6 here.
See if Escajeda can make a comeback here. He did flash his lights when Will got around.
He does have, he's running out of opportunities. Here's one of them right here. Here's Oak Tree. Oh, power slide. Oh.
Yeah, really good opportunity, but it looked like Will might have just made that work. It almost did.
So this is down the long stretch. Will's going to keep that car wide. Going to stick it where, here he comes. Going to look to the inside. Side by side.
Side by side still.
Downshift and brake still. We'll get some faster exit, and that might have just won the race. We'll see.
Unless Escajeda gives them the bumper. We might get a photo finish once again here. Gonna be close.
Oh, he gives a little bit of a tap. I don't think
Salisbury's gonna take it.
Gonna go, yeah.
But heck of a race by
4/5 of a car width there.
Yeah, heck of a race by Escajeda though, leading all those laps other than the final one.
Yeah, and that's the one I'm sure that he's going to be kicking himself on.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him, but it's a great race, and it's going to help in the points championship because that's going to bring him nearly equal with McGuinness, and could question whether or not Will needs to actually take a green flag next week.
I'm sure he will be here, but Max Butler is going to be our final podium position. Let's set up for interviews then. Oh, we've got a little bit of contact in the back. I'm not sure what that was. I think it was Butler and Salisbury. Just meatball things. So, yeah, we'll get that replay going here. But officially we went, looks like went 18 laps? Yeah. It's actually further than I thought we'd get. Sorry, I'm setting up for our interviews and trying to get them not being under the pace lap during the interviews. I like go back and I do a slow-mo, but it's not good when they're under the pace lap. That's just boring. So we'll bring up Max Butler here.
Yeah, margin of victory there, 0.090 was the margin of victory. Escada did lead 12 laps.
I will. I'm bringing up Max now. Max, this is Matt and Gary up in the booth. Got a copy?
Oh my goodness, I have a copy.
Well, you had a little bit of blinking there. I know that was an issue. It's always nerve-wracking when you're battling somebody and you've got that blink going. But tell us about your race.
You know, that blinking, Will told me that I was blinking, and I only took that as an advantage for myself because in a past league event, I was blinking and we had a collision and I ended up beating Will in that one. So basically over the mic, I was just telling Will, well, if I'm blinking, you better not just don't get close to me. So I was trying to hold up Will a lot of the time. Matthew Escajeda is a good man and I would have loved to see him on top today. So I was doing everything I could do to support him because he was so quick throughout practice and qualifying. So I was trying to help him as much as I could, but you know, Will just got by again. So
Yeah, he did work it through through traffic and everything like that. But yeah, he's gonna win another one here. Escajeda, we're not supposed to root for anybody on the in the broadcast booth, but it's always good to see new names up there, and yourself included. So in the podium position here.
Of course, yeah. In the previous event, I was mid-race interviewed about fuel, and I thought I had enough. And in an unfortunate incident, I was half a lap too short on fuel, so I had to pit that race. But I was on the mark to get in the podium to have another interview with the guys. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. And
So you've been waiting a few weeks. You're like, I need to get back up there to tell those guys what was the story there.
Oh yeah, no, I've been waiting,
chomping at the bit.
Oh, working out. This is my dream right now to be talking to you guys.
Well, great race. Anybody to shout out? Obviously, getting Meatball up here. We got Wade Michael in the chat yelling meatballs. So anybody
Wade
to shout
Michael,
out?
That's the man right there. Unfortunately, he was not able to be a part of the team a lot this season. He came in for a mid-race pep talk and happy to have his support. So go him, mom, dad, and brothers.
There you go. Well, we'll see you back next week for Sebring. It's going to be an interesting one there. Always bumpy. Always a great race there in Sebring. So.
Yep, should be a good one. Hope to have a full field for that one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, well, we'll put you back over in the meatball chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. All right. We'll get Escajeda in here. Yeah, switch over to him, and then we'll pull him up. Escajeda, first I should say, do I have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you led a bunch of laps, but you did not lead the final one. So I bet there's a little bit of bitter taste in your mouth, but heck of a race leading all those laps here. Getting pole too, right? So.
Yeah, I did not think I was going to get pole, so that was a nice surprise. I had like a handful of really bad exits, especially off of the last turn. That weird little dip, I just didn't hit it right a few times, so that let Will catch up to me a lot in the last like 2 or 3 to go, I think. And man, once he got in front of me, I only had one chance, and that was in the back straightaway, but he stayed beside me on the corner after that. And then he got the inside on the front straightaway, and that was it. I couldn't get him.
Yeah. You put up a good battle though after you got around you, and you at least made it watchable. He wasn't just driving away with it or anything like that. But yeah, he set a really burner of a lap. Not exactly sure, but 3 or 4 laps to go, something like that. Because you had over a 2-second lead, but then he set a 2:08.6.
Lap 15. 2:06 on lap 15. We did 17 laps, so yeah.
Yeah, so that was a burner.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But hey,
wow. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, great points here. Any final thoughts and anybody to shout out, that kind of thing, friends, family.
The final thoughts are we both actually almost lost it in Oak Tree. I don't know if you guys noticed. I
Yeah.
almost
Oh yeah,
completely
oh yeah.
spun around,
Yeah.
and he like had to hit the brakes on the exit. And if I didn't screw that up, I would have had him for sure.
Okay,
But we
well,
both, and then like to shout out to Max and Nick and Joe for trying to race Will as hard as they could to keep him away. As long as they could, they did an
they,
excellent job.
yeah, you had another team that was out there rooting for you, I think. So,
Unofficial teammates, yeah.
yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, very true.
And as I said to him, I'll repeat to you, is like, as the broadcasters, we're never supposed to support anybody, but getting a new name on the top step of the podium is always something we're looking for. So, all right, well, a great race. I mean, you didn't get the top step, but hey, we've got Sebring next week. Everybody loves Sebring, so another chance there.
Yes, sir. I don't know what to expect there.
Bumpy, and I
Yeah.
mean, I guess these cars have good shocks and
These
everything
cars,
like that. So.
yeah, these cars can take it.
Unlike anything else that I would have driven there. But yeah,
Right.
we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, bring Will up here. Will, so everybody else sounded a little deflated there, but you're on the top step. We saw you had to make it work. You restarted like in last on that restart after the competition caution. Tell us about your your pit as well and that penalty that you took.
Yeah, we were actually just kind of recapping the race there.
Yeah.
With the guys, it was something, that's for sure. It was something. I love this track. I love VIR. I've raced here in over the summer actually for the first time in real life, and it was a blast. So taking what I learned there and applying it to the virtual world came in handy today. That's for sure. That first half of the race, it was going pretty good. Just having a good fight with Max and Matthew there for a little while, and then we were just chatting about it. Max decided to dive bomb up the inside in turn one and just absolutely shoveled me out of the way, which it is what it is. I don't have any problems against it. We didn't really touch or anything. And then I got to slow down following Joe Butler there for coming onto the backstretch just a little too close and caught the curbing. And it started to compound a lot of errors there very quickly. Decided at that point, you know what? I got shuffled back. I think this is a good time to make a pit stop. And I noticed Max came in at that same time. And last minute decision led to a 40-minute stop and hold for a unsafe pit entry. So my pit stop in that whole lap went from bad to worse and ended up battling for the lead to dead last with 40 seconds in between us. But such as it was before the comp caution, so I knew that we would pack back up, and I'd just have to pull off the old fuel challenge starting at the restart. And sure enough, we were able to get it done. I think everyone's been great here tonight. It was fun racing them. A lot of things have to go your way and to make stuff like that happen, and you got to have luck, you got to have speed, and you got to be able to know where to place the car. And we were just able to place the car perfectly throughout that whole run to get to the front and then get the lead from Matt there at the last laps. A lot of different little errors from some drivers in front and just some I guess luck that put us in the right spot. And Matthew is a hell of a guy to race with. It was a lot of fun. I never lost confidence. It was more of a matter of time. It was once I caught up to him, it was like, okay, I need to get around him as quickly as possible, but he's not going to make it easy. And there's really not a whole lot of places to pass here. VIR is a very technical track, and to make a move work, you have to be very committed if you're going to attempt it at the end of a straightaway or into one of these corners. And we were just able to put the car in the right position at the end of the straightaway there. And there was a little bumping and banging, but nothing too crazy. And I think we both gave it a hell of a shot and just ultimately came out on top on that one, which was great. It was a great challenge for me. It does feel a little weird not having Rob McGinnis here to really put up a professional top tier battle with the gloves off completely. But I'll take what I can get. It was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, and Matt mentioned this too. Up at Oak Tree on that final run through there, you guys both kind of made some mistakes there. It allowed him to get side by side through that. So we at least still had a battle there towards through 14, 15, 16. But you were able to get back into the front in the final corner. So heck of a run. Good seeing you. You weren't able to take that EOL at the start of the race, but through circumstance and making that late pit lane, mistake on entry, I kind of spotted that like while you were doing that because I was checking. I was like, I'm pretty sure that might be a penalty, and we kept an eye on that, so we knew you're going to have to come through the field, and always entertaining to watch though.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a heck of a battle there, and like you said, once we got up to Oak Tree in that last lap, I first time in the lead with someone behind me, I just kind of missed my braking zone just a touch, and the back end came around. It was pretty slick out there tonight. I'm not gonna lie. The track temp was up, the humidity was up, and these tires were slipping and sliding near the end of the race. So just kind of misjudged it just by a second there, and I think Matt did a touch, but he was able to get a good run, and then it became a game of chess. It's like, where are you going to place the car going into the end of the backstretch? The inside is going to work. It proved to me that I guess the outside of the next corner was where I wanted to be rather than the inside, which is pretty unusual. But because of the nature of the switchback and the rundown into, the rundown from roller coaster into hog pen and to the line, it was where I needed to be to get the momentum to come out of the corner. So heck of a race there by Matt, heck of a battle, and ultimately, all the mistakes, we still ended up in victory lane. So it was a great night.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you guys side by side through 14, 15. You kind of knew the position where to place your car because of the previous lap you'd been through there with in reverse order. So you knew exactly the outcome that was gonna be. But yeah, heck of a race, another win here. Obviously, we always ask, family, friends, sponsors, any shout outs to give?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, got a shout out to you guys here in the broadcast booth for putting on these races. They're always fun to go back and watch. I say it every week, but it really is a pleasure to go back and watch and catch all the action from a different perspective. So I appreciate you guys here up in the booth, and to everyone watching as well, for sticking with us. I know there's a lot of people out there that are tuning in tonight, so it's always great to put on a show for everyone that's watching. And as always, we have to thank our great sponsors at the Fuel Series. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't thanking them. So, Pre-Rim came on at the beginning of the year again for season 2. Got to thank them, as well as PitFit Training. Stephen Wilson, a great friend of ours here at the series as well. So it's been in 40 Racewear. Can't forget those guys getting out a set of sim racing shoes. So next week's going to be a fun time going into the championship race. Hopefully everyone comes out for that one. We get a bigger field, and we put on a great finale for everyone.
Yeah, sounds great. Looking forward to Sebring. A good win once again, and I'll send you back down to the Meatball Motorworks down there.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yep. All right. Well, like Will said there, we're going to be at Sebring next week. Final look at the schedule here. Only one round to go. Do believe that's going to be a 1-hour race, and hopefully we get everybody out here. Hopefully Rob McGinnis back. We've got a couple other drivers that were missing tonight. Get them back too. Try to get as full of a grid as we can get. Right, Gary?
Hey, the more the merrier, and especially a little bit of a longer race. Got a lot more things to talk about. Other battles on the racetrack would be nice to see, but I think it was a good race today. I think everybody, and myself included, wrote off Will, and he came back. And despite me writing him off and 3 guys on the racetrack trying to keep him behind him, he prevailed. So good on him. And congratulations, and we got 1 race to go. He might be the points champion. We'll have to see how that shakes out already. But it should be a battle for the team championship going into next week. And there's still a couple close battles there in the top 5 that people probably want to get themselves into before the season's over. So Almost the season's almost done, but still we got some racing to go that needs to be taken out here on the racetrack, and we'll be here next week to cover that.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks everybody for watching, just like Will said earlier, and we'll see you back same time, same place next week, 8 o'clock next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, of course. And Racers will be here for our final broadcast of the year, and then we'll be into Christmas, New Year's. So thanks everybody for watching.